Hello, 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 everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All things in this video are alleged and they are from my opinions only and are used for entertainment purposes. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Also, I am doing this as a pre-recorded. So I am pre-recording this today because I got some other things to do tonight. So I'm doing this as a pre-recorded. So if when it drops, if anybody in the comments and you're, communicating with me, I will respond to you later whenever I see it. But yeah, this is going to be up. This is pre-recorded. And today we are going to be talking about the family business, season 5, episode 6, crossing boundaries. So let's get into it. The episode starts with Donna sitting in her living room or wherever she's sitting. She's sitting there and she's holding a little gun. And Junior tells her that, he doesn't care what they say. She's not doing it. Donna tells him, who are you talking to? Lower your tone. Someone can hear you. So Junior tells her that, she isn't going to kill anyone. Donna tells him that, that they're testing her and she doesn't have a choice. And he told her, yes, you do. You have a choice. You have the choice to say no. You aren't a killer until you pull that trigger. And the hell would they test? You ain't got to be about this life. It's Donna talking about she testing herself. And so Junior tells her, Ruby isn't a test. She's innocent in the love of Orlando's life. And I'm like, oh, so now you kill Junior? You done threw your whole family away, but now you kill? Now you kill, but because they trying to take old Ruby out of here, you ain't been cared for the last few episodes, so now you kill? Now you got a little heart. But Donna said that, well, Junior also said, that's the mother of his nephew. And, they are setting you up to be the poster child for Duncan hatred. Donna states that she knows. And then she says Ruby isn't as innocent as you may think. But now is not the time to be rational. Now is the time to show them what we are made of. Junior tells her, but Mom, you ain't about that life, girl. You ain't about that life. You are not about this life. So Donna's talking about not yet. Girl, bye. And so she asks him, how many times did you try to talk Chippy out of not killing someone? Junior couldn't say anything. There's no response. And she states, see, I proved my point. If Chippy can do it, so can I. Then she goes on to say, if she had been a little more of a ride or die back in the day, then Chippy wouldn't be living her life. So this is what this is all about. You feel like Chippy is living the life that you should have lived. But when LC decided to get with Chippy, or when he fell in love with Chippy based off the books, it had nothing to do with her being a ride or die, because they fell in love based off of their mutual love for books. And you was a bougie snob, as you still are. So I don't see what they got to do with anything, but hey, she in her feelings because she feel like she about that life and she really ain't. Because if we being honest, based off of them books, Chippy been down with the get down for a long time. A long time. Cause Chippy took her own people up out of here. I don't think Donna know that part, but hey, I digress. The next scene we will see is gonna be Junior out in the rain working out. Evidently, the thought of taking Ruby up out of here is pressing on his mind, is weighing on him heavy and hard, and he's just grinding and going and grinding and going. And he talking about, he can't do it. He can't do it. I guess he out there trying to psych himself up for them to be able to do this. But Junior homeboy, this what you signed up for. You thought, I don't know what you thought this was gonna be, considering y'all teaming up to go against your father. You also got to realize what you've been doing for your father all these years. What you thought the alliance was gonna do? That y'all was gonna bake cakes and play Simon Says or something? What you thought y'all was gonna do? And then y'all going up against your father. Y'all know y'all gotta make some shape. You got to make some shape. But hey, Junior, you should have thought long and hard before you made this decision, because some decisions you can't come back from. But we're gonna see how this plays out. Next thing we know, we're going to the Duncan household and we will see London, Elsie, and Chippy. And London is telling them that, she's told Mariah that she's lost all privileges, and then that she's talking about removing the door from her room. The parentals, Elsie and Chippy, they feel that London needs to find a different approach. And London is confused because she's trying to figure out what it is that Mariah needs to work through. And Elsie tells her that they think Mariah needs to see a therapist. Of course, London doesn't agree, because London doesn't know, all the ins and outs of what's going on with her daughter, because they have yet to tell her. But Chippy tells her that, London said, Mariah will be fine, just like, her and all her siblings were, when they was growing up. And Chippy was like, yeah, but you all didn't have your parents going through a turbulent divorce, and your father didn't just go missing without a trace. London was like, well, that wasn't my fault. She said, I wasn't the one that gave the Italians the gun that was used to kill Saldash. You did that, mama. Oh, Chippy said, watch your tongue. I'm still your mother. And she felt like, she did what she had to do for her family. And she felt like, Harris was a major liability. Harris probably still a major liability. But, it is what it is. They feel that, Mariah needs serious help. And they tell London that Mariah thinks that she's the one that unalived her pawpaw, or her father, or her daddy, or Harris, however y'all want to call it. So London is shocked because she's like, why she thinks that. And Chippy's like, it's probably because you done threatened her daddy of doing it multiple times. So you done did all these times where you threatened this man. Now he's disappeared without a trace. So yeah, she's like, yeah, mama finally did it. After all these times she done said she was gonna do it, she finally did it. She finally did it. Of course, they still telling her that, Mariah needs help. But you can tell London is in denial about, how bad off her daughter is. But she finally agrees. And she asks her parents, said, but do y'all want her telling someone our deep dark secrets. And Elsie says he has someone that that she can talk to, and they can trust her, or as Chippy said, can be easily eliminated. Of course, they, in my mind at this time, LC already done gifted old Brandy a practice, so they're gonna be using Brandy for everything because right now she obligated to them. So the next thing we'll see is Ruby and Orlando. They are headed somewhere. We didn't know where. We just know that, Orlando said it was 6 hours away. And he tells Ruby that her and their son are the most important things in his life. And he'll do whatever it takes to make sure they are safe. He says he loves her. She tells him that she loves him. And, you know, little man just sitting right there in between them, and he ain't doing them but smiling. It brought a smile to my face just to see him sitting up there smiling. He ain't say a word. He just sat up there and smiled. I said, "Oh." But anywho, next thing we'll see is Bobby the Beast. We go to his house where they're sitting there and they're playing pool, and Roman walks in, and he asks Bobby the Beast asks Roman how's his mother, and he states that she's doing okay, and he appreciates him asking. Then he asks if he had heard from Lauren. He states no. Roman asks if he had heard from Paris. Bobby says no. And Bobby said, they'll call. They always do. So he lets Bobby know he's looking for Darnell. They tell him the last time they saw him, Darnell was out by the pool. And then we see this doggone sign saying, "Welcome to Louisiana." And we see this fine ass man. Whew, child. We find out old fine ass man is kinfolk to the Duncans. But they gave us that visual of the fine ass man. But anywho, back to Roman. Romans walks up to the pool where Darnell is. He tells Darnell he wants to talk business with him in private. So, he's there with a couple of females. Darnell telling him, got some trunks and try to get in the pool, enjoy, these women because I got all these women and one of me. They're like, well, I need to talk to you in private. Let me talk to you in private first. And then, then we can get with the women. So, Darnell sends the women away. Then after they are sent away, he asks, what's up, what's going on. Roman tells him that he needs another job. Darnell is like, look, dude, we just did a job a couple of days ago. And, right now we need to lay low. He good. He ain't trying to do no more work right now. He laying low. He finna be here chilling in this pool. He ain't finna do no work. So Roman tells him that, he understands that, but he needs money. His mom needs a kidney transplant and it's not cheap. So, of course, Darnell reemphasizes the fact that, he ain't finna do no work. He finna sit here and lay low and chill. He ain't finna do nothing. But of course, Roman presses the issue and he's like, okay, fine. I may have something for you, but he isn't personally going to help him. He's going to get it set up, but he's not going to help him. However, if they're able to pull it off, he wants 10%. Of course, Roman agrees. Next thing we know, we'll see where Orlando and Ruby and his son are going to the finance man that we just saw a little while ago. Find out that he is, of course, Orlando's the Duncan's cousin, Marquise, baby, Marquise. And Ruby said, she tells the cousin that she did what she needed to do to protect Orlando. Cousin said, there's no need to explain because, family protects family. So basically, Orlando is bringing his family down to New Orleans to stay with the cousin, let the cousin protect them because nobody's ever going to think to look for his family in Louisiana. Of course, they still going to be looking for them over in Jamaica, man. And we're going to leave that scene and we're going to go back to Darnell and Roman. Roman is in the bed with one of these little chicks. And Darnell walks in. Roman states, "Oh, I mean, y'all don't know anything about knocking." And he's like, "Boy, she ain't got nothing I ain't never seen before." Because if we be honest, he done seen it before. He done tapped it. You know, y'all running in behind the same people because y'all both boning the same people over and over again. Because all y'all boning the same women. But I digress. They get to talking about the first job that they did. Evidently, the guy that they capped was the boy or one of the guys that hung out with the guy they planning on doing next. And you know, with what happened with that job, he's a little leery, a little nervous. So, you know, you got to make sure you on your P's and Q's because he, you know, homeboy paranoid. He a little jumpy. Y'all done clipped his boy, so you know he gonna be on his P's and Q's. So you got to make sure you know what you're doing. So they talking about setting them up. They got a girl on the inside that's gonna help set them up. So of course, you know, Roman all down for it. He down for anything at this point because he's trying his best to save his mother. He agrees to the setup. Old boy get ready to leave out, tell him to lock the door. Okay, they get back to doing what they was doing beforehand. Next thing we know, we will see old fathead Junior sitting outside. He deep in thought. Because I'm like, shoot, he probably still sitting there trying to change his mind. But I don't know. At first, I thought he was because of how everything was playing out in the beginning of the episode. But after this scene, I don't know. I don't quite know. I don't know. Junior might be fooling me. But anyway, Brother Minister walks up and he's talking to him about he never pictured him being the head of his own organization. And despite the circumstances, he feels his father would be proud of him as well. Of course, Junior thinks his father would want to put a bullet in his head. And Junior is talking about, you know, this situation with the alliance is creating opportunities for everyone involved. Brother Minister states that they placed a lot of the brotherhood has placed a lot of eggs in the basket and they want to be sure that he's certain. Junior states that I am as certain as you are. Are you having doubts? Brother Minister states no doubts, but he has some concerns. And he's concerned about the fact that they are talking about taking the life of a Black woman and a mother, no less. He's surprised that Junior agreed to it since, you know, Ruby is his family. Junior says, you know, he doesn't use that family word, you know, real loosely, that freely these days. So he tells them that the brotherhood isn't strangers to taking lives. Isn't that what they're trained to do? I'm like, well, look at Junior. Junior think he about that life for real, y'all. Brother Minister states, you know, but we don't take the lives of innocent women, especially over trivial matters. And he feels like, you know, it's senseless. And child, I'm just like, you know, Junior basically talking about, you know, the being trivial is subjective. So what may be trivial to you might not be trivial to someone else. And I'm just sitting there like, nah, he trying to be a boss for real. He trying to be a boss. But Junior with your fat head, I ain't liking you right now still. I thought I thought she was getting a little heart earlier. Thought she was getting hearts earlier. But now I'm starting to question. I'm trying to figure out if you really trying to be about this life, Junior, where you want to take your family out of here. But anyway, he tells Brother Minister that he was reminded last night by his mama that Ruby isn't as innocent as one thinks. And Junior said that decision has been made and he feel like it's a wise one. And, with all due respect, Brother Minister, I need to get back in this house. I'm through talking to you for today. Cha. Next thing we gonna see is Mr. Alejandro and old Tony Dash. Alejandro lets Tony Dash know that it's not hard to see that Junior and his mother are being sacrificial lambs. A blind man could see that, but Junior and his stupid mama can't. They really think they running something and ain't. Anywho, he states, despite the vote that they took, they know that he said, despite the vote that they took, he's aware Junior is not the leader of the alliance. Tony is. So Tony tells him that that's very observant of him, but is it his fault if Junior is too naive to recognize that? Alejandro at this point, he don't really care just as long as y'all don't bother him and his family. And Tony was like, he feel like, who is he to get in the way of what Junior and Donna want? And if we're being honest, it ain't even so much as what Junior and Donna wants. Donna just want to be somebody that she ain't, because she want to be, and she's still in competition with Chippy, but she ain't about that life. Junior is hurt over what happened, but he hurt and mad at everybody except Donna. Donna didn't tell him the full story of what happened, and she gonna end up getting herself unalive trying to be a doggone killer out here. So there's that. The next thing he states is Alejandro said he knows Donna from back in the day, and he knows that that she will do anything that he wishes. And Tonio is like, so you talked to her. Dominique states that Donna is still very adamant about doing what they need her to do, and she feels that Donna wants her approval. Of course she do. Donna is oh my gosh. Anyway, we'll hear Antonio ask one of his men if Ruby is still in Jamaica. And one of the men states she was, but she just disappeared. And he's like, well, y'all need to find where she went. Ain't nobody just disappearing into thin air. You need to figure out where she went. So Alejandro asks the statement, what's wrong? And he tells them it's just a bump in the road. And he knows that Orlando is behind it, but he has a backup. And he makes a statement that you can run, but you can't hide for long. They toast up their little glasses talking about salute, 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 whatever. Back in New Orleans, Orlando is letting Ruby know that, he'll be leaving the next day. And she tells him, she wants him to take little Vincent back with him because, she's basically running for her life at this point. And she feels like he'll be safer in New York with him because once word get out that Vincent is in New York with Orlando, then they're going to assume that he doesn't know where Ruby is. Of course, we all know he knows where Ruby is, but she's talking about his medical needs. He needs treatments and stuff. And she wants him, if he were to go to the hospital down there where they are, then, they'll find the records and trace it back to where they are, versus if he goes while they are in New York, everybody's just going to assume he's there with his father. Of course, Orlando doesn't want to take his son away from his mother, but she eventually convinces him to do so, and he agrees. Next thing we know, we'll see Roman and his boy, old LoJack nephew. They're preparing to rob this dude. I forgot what this dude's name was, but they're preparing to rob him. And he's saying, he got to do what he got to do for his mom. They are talking about the woman that's texting Roman because, she's setting the whole thing up. And he don't feel like they can trust her, but at the end of the day, right now, that's the only person they can trust at this point. Next thing we know, they're strapping up and they are headed in, busting in the door. Oh boy, ain't scared. If you gonna use it, you gonna have to make it do what it do. So they end up talking about where the money. Oh, girl over there talking about hit me. But oh boy, don't see her. So Roman end up backhanding her. He end up, the other dude end up, LoJack nephew hit the other guy. He rips off his mask and he was like, well, dude, now you're gonna have to pop him. You're gonna have to pop him. But oh boy, was not LoJack nephew went about that life. Because he done sat there and called Roman name multiple times. I'm sorry. And then, he hit the dude. He knocked him out. I don't know if he knocked him out, but he fell back on the bed. He's sitting there trying to doggone steal a watch that was on his arm. Old dude getting up. So he shot. And I'm like, no, he about that life. He trying to be about that life. But he was scared. But he pulled the trigger though. But he was scared. Then his little thieving behind because he's just so stuck on getting that little funky watch. He got the watch and they rolled up out of there. He think he done did something else. Boy. Next thing we see is Roman is sitting in the hospital. I'm assuming this one of the administrators for their surgery and stuff, and she's telling him that he must really love his mother. Roman states, of course, doesn't everybody? And she responds with yes, but she's never had anyone bring her $120,000 in cash to secure the transplant. He states it's the first time for everything. He thanks her for everything. And, she lets him know that he's going to have to talk to the doctor about everything from how to get everything else situated. Next, we will see London with LoJack, and she's telling him about how she's worried about her daughter. And she wanted to know, what was going on with him last night where he couldn't get this booty call. So, and she tells him, he tells her, my bad, that his sister kept him awake all night because she was calling because she's worried about her nephew that shot somebody last night. And she was like, but I thought he was in Georgia. Yeah, he was, but he back. And so now she's stressed out and worried. So LoJack told London to give her daughter a break, but keep her close. Then he was telling her how stressed he is. And she basically tells him, hey, she the best stress reliever. And he was like, is that so? We get together at your place of mine. London was like, dude, you can't come to my place. So fine, we'll go to his place. And she said, you need your rest because you're going to need all the strength you got, homeboy. Next thing we know, we're at the hospital where Auntie is telling Roman's mother that she needs to tell him. She said he's out there doing God knows what to get the money for her operation. And she tells her he's even considering giving you a kidney. She states that it's not the right time. Sis says, when will it ever be the right time? Then she tells her that you never planned on telling him, did you? And she said, No, she was planning, she was going to take it to her grave. And she said, yes, and you are too. Sister, no, ma'am, Pam, said, the hell I am. You ain't gonna leave that burden on me. Either you tell him or I will, and then you can explain it. She's told her sister, you wouldn't do that. She said, try me and find out. Try me and fuck around and find out. So she agrees to tell him when they are back home. Roman walks in at that moment and says, tell me what. Mom says nothing, that just that she's thankful to have a son that can make things happen for her. She asks if everything else is okay. He tells her that the hospital has approved her surgery and that he's going to donate a kidney to her. He said, I'm your son, and if we have the same blood type, it's a match. Baby auntie in the back shaking her head. She said, son, you don't have to do this. And he says, yes, you're my mother. You're my mother that brought me in this world, and I'd do anything for you. Baby auntie looking thoroughly disgusted. Probably want to knock sis out back there, but hey. All I can say was, Mama, you said this ain't the right time, but if it'll be, whether you tell him voluntarily or involuntarily, homeboy for the find out. So you better get the jaw jacking and start talking. You better start, because once they get to drawing all this blood work and doing all this stuff, they gonna find out that you is not the mama, not the mama, not the mama. But they scheduled the blood work. And sis said, you gonna let them do blood work? Blood work, sis. Blood work. Good child. Next, we will see London and Mariah. London pulls up. Mariah comes out of the building, gets in the car, and she keeps, fanning her little nails. Look at her nails. Look at her mama. Look at her nails. Look at her mama. And London is just sitting there looking at her. So Mariah asks if she's in trouble, because, London just sitting there looking at her. London states, no, she isn't. She's looking at her nails because they weren't like that when she went in. Mariah was telling her that things went okay, that the lady was nice, and she asked a lot of questions. Mariah told her, but, she didn't tell her anything, so she painted her nails. London tells her that she brought her here so she could talk to her. So now Mariah is confused because they have always been told to not to tell people their business, especially not their personal business. London told her that she did good, but it's different. You can talk to Dr. Brandy about whatever it is you're feeling. Mariah asks if she's family. London says no, but she's a family friend, and she helped save your grandfather. Of course, Mariah said she didn't know that. And, London explains to her that Dr. Brandy is a safe space, so she can feel free to talk to her. So they was like, okay, cool. I guess she'll talk to her the next time she come. They said, okay, let's get out of here. Next thing we know, we see Roman and LoJack's nephew. I don't remember what LoJack's nephew name is. After this scene, it don't even matter what his name is. But they finna get out and have some fun. They got the two shorties in the back. They hop in the car. Then we see them being followed. Me and my brain cells, based off of the fact that they just sat there and set up old dude, I'm thinking these girls that set them up. That's how my mindset working at this point in time, because the hoes has established the fact that they can't be trusted. Anyway, next thing we'll see is Chippy finds Sonya's ultrasound picture and she starts crying. She calls Nene and shows it to her. And she said, you know what this means, right? Donna is like, of course I know what this means. It means Donna is going to be a grandmother and she's not going to let me see this baby. Right at this present time, y'all ain't talking to Junior or Donna. So don't neither one of them know about the baby. So right now, the baby all yours. Don't nobody know what's going on. But the way Donna going, she ain't gonna be here to see the grandbaby. But I digress. So she be over there crying because she gonna be a grandmother. Anywho, next scene, we're gonna see LoJack's nephew getting his freak on, getting the freak on. But if I'm not mistaken, ain't this the girl that was in the bed with the dude that they set up? That's what it looked like. The one they gave a little money to, told them to call the folks after they got there. But after they left, whatever. But anyway, they was getting their little freak on. And then they, they got to talking about going get some more liquor. And I just knew this scene was gonna be a setup for something because in my mind and my bones, I was just feeling like, these females had done set these fools up. That's me and how I was thinking. That's how I was thinking they're going down. You can always anticipate something coming. Something better happen because it's just the way it was showing. We knew something was going to happen, just didn't know what. But I thought the females had set up old dude, but they walk and go beat on the door. Hey, we're going to get some liquor. Okay, whatever. They going down the stairs. I hear this little roach motel. And they going down and they kissing and they going down and they kissing. And the car that was following them is old dude. That old boy, when he was trying to steal a watch, thought he had them capped. And evidently he ain't do a very good job, but oh boy did a very good job. He told him, hey, you should have offered me, homeboy. But he thought he did though. Homeboy, he thought he offered you. He really did. He thought he did. He wasn't about that life. He really wasn't. So, oh boy, Spad shot him up. Yep. Roman heard it. Oh, Brandon. Oh, that's Brandon. Dang. It's a little late for me to worry about Brandon now because he been LoJack nephew all the time. Now I remember his name. But it's too late to remember his name because at this point, Brandon, LoJack nephew, is riddled with bullets. He got blood everywhere. They screaming for help. They screaming for help. Somebody help. Oh, God. And in my mind, I say, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You bought this life when you really wasn't, but you want to be about this life. So, adios, LoJack nephew. Adios. It been nice knowing you. Been nice knowing you. It's you. That is how the scene is. Some of that is my own personal ad libs to it. But the scene does end with him laying there filled with bullets and blood and everybody screaming. That's scene. But anyway, that is it. And that is all. I am looking forward to next week's episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this episode, what you think is going to happen. Just let me know what your thoughts are. But that will be it for this review. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to me. And you all have a beautiful and safe Thursday. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.